It's safe to say that the season for my Dallas Cowboys is officially in peril. Sometimes in professional sports, the injury gods, especially in football, does not side in your favor. And in this situation, among other things, which I'll jump into, is one of the reasons why the Cowboys is just not going to get to where we all expect their talent to be. And this game yesterday against the Atlanta Falcons just proved a lot of different things. First of all, I'm sick and tired of the media and all the haters of the Cowboys. I get it. Cowboys is the most valuable organization in the entire world. And it's the most recognizable. It's the most highly rated football team in the league. We get the most ratings. Win, lose, or draw, we get the most ratings. So I understand there's a lot of hatred for the Dallas Cowboys because people just like hating on them because they are very popular. I get it. However, what I don't get and what I continuously, what rakes at me at my core is people who deny reality and people who deny what they see with their own two eyes. I'm sick and tired of Shawn Lee not getting the respect that he deserves. I've been hyping Shawn Lee for several years. The only issue, the only problem that this guy has ever had in his career is the fact that he can't stay on the field. That's it. When that guy's on the field, he's arguably one of the best linebackers in the league. Not arguably, he is one of the best linebackers in the league. Probably top 3. Yes, check his stats. When he plays, the guy gets interceptions. He racks up high numbers of tackles, and it always goes unnoticed. Like, no one notices how great this guy is. But I bring up Shawn Lee for one reason, and one reason only. Shawn Lee is so valuable for the Dallas Cowboys. Every time he is out of the game and he doesn't play, or whatever the case may be, you see the defense. It's night and day. It's night and day. They can't cover. They can't stop the run. They can't do anything on that back end when Shawn Lee is not in the game. Case in point, the Rams game. When we lost that game, we was up 24-13. Second half, the defense couldn't get off the field. 19 total possession time, 19 minutes in total possession for the Rams to our 11. That's Shawn Lee. You can't make a stop. You can't cover. You can't stop the run. These are all because of Shawn Lee, him being the quarterback back there. But he doesn't get the respect he deserves. Case in point for the Green Bay Packers. This guy, I can't even remember his name, ran all over the Dallas Cowboys, got over 100 yards. No Shawn Lee playing. Case in point with last night's game with the Atlanta Falcons. It's 10-7. Shawn Lee's still in the game. We're pretty much stopping the run. Matt Ryan, he's not really doing anything. Shawn Lee goes out with the hamstring injury. The floodgates open up. Now, Tevin Coleman is running all over the Cowboys, and Matt Ryan's opened up the pass game with the play action, and now he's picking them apart. This is always consistently happening when Shawn Lee isn't in a game. And I'm sick of people acting like Shawn Lee is not important. Come on. You have two eyes. You watch the games. You see the day and night when it comes to defense. Now, I'm not going to get on Chaz Green and what happened with Chaz Green. Chaz Green is what I always thought he was. He's a marginal, average at best guard. That's what he is. I never was really high on Chaz Green because Chaz Green, A, he can't stay on the field, and B, he's not very skilled. He's just a piece that you could plug in. And with that offensive line with those 3 Pro Bowlers, Ty Smith and Frederick and Martin, you could plug in a piece like Chaz Green. It doesn't give him too much responsibility. It doesn't put too much on his shoulders. However, when you put a bunch on his shoulders and you try to plug him in one of the most important positions like left tackle, you see what happens. A disaster happens. And this guy Claiborne on the Falcons looked like Derek Thomas. He looked like LT. I mean, he was just running by Chaz Green. There wasn't no technique. There wasn't no, the White Freeney spin move. It was none of that. He was just running by him. And that leads to my point. I'm not trying to put this on Chaz Green because Chaz Green is who he is. This solely goes on the backs of the coaching staff. Namely Jason Garrett, the puppet, the clapper. It's Garrett's fault. He's a terrible coach, but he's still the coach because he's a puppet. And Scott Linehan. You have to make these adjustments. And the fact that they didn't make these adjustments, not even the adjustments, the fact that you didn't have a real good game plan going into this game, knowing that your Pro Bowl left tackle, probably the top 2, 3 tackle in the league, is not going to play against a bunch of speed rushers that the Falcons have in their dome. I mean, what were those guys thinking? Obviously, they weren't thinking. So Chaz Green was left on the island to fend for himself. As he's getting his ass handed to him, Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett, mostly Jason Garrett, didn't have the wherewithal, didn't have the sense to make coaching decisions, to make these adjustments to help the kid out. They just left him on the island. You didn't shift the line to the left to help him out. You didn't put Hannah or you didn't put Witten back there, line him up in the backfield to help chip on Claiborne. You didn't even put, Alfred Morris over there to chip on him. You didn't do anything. You just left him on the island. And there you have it. The guy has 6 sacks. Dak Prescott he not even getting 5-step dropbacks and the guy's on his back already. That's terrible coaching. And we know that the Dallas Cowboys do not have very strong coaches aside from Rod Marinelli. He seems to be the only competent coach on the entire team. But the point that I wanted to get to making this video, because it's kind of coming off as a rant, because I had to get this off my chest, man. I can't keep this in. I had to bring it to you guys because I'm hurting inside. Because I've been saying this for years. Everybody wanted to blame Tony Romo. Everybody wanted to blame this or that, the running game or whatever the case may be. Those are just little small, marginal reasons as to why the Cowboys can't get to where we all envision them being. It comes down to one reason, one person. He sits at the top. That's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the anchor that is holding this team down from sailing off into the Super Bowl and potentially winning a championship. It's Jerry Jones. It's all his fault. He went into the season knowing that, hey, I just lost my entire secondary. Granted, Carr and Claiborne and Barry Church and all those guys, they weren't great players, but they were veteran players. They've been in the league for several years. They understood how to, be at least, an asset and know how to carry out plans and things like that, or play calls and things like that. But you lose all of these guys and replace them with kids. Now, granted, I love all these guys, Jordan Lewis's and Chidobe Awuzie and all these other guys and Woods back there. They're going to need some time. They're kids. But it's upon you, Jerry, you being the general manager, president, owner, all this other crap, head cheerleader. It's upon you, Jerry, to make the adjustments that you need to make to further your team's main objective to potentially win a championship. You went into the season and made no additions. 0 additions. Look at the Eagles. They went into the season, you know what they said? You know what? We're weak at wide receiver. We're going to change up the whole wide receiver staff. We're going to keep Aguilar, but we're going to add Alshon Jeffries, and we're going to, add a few other pieces. And it worked. Now they're 8-1, and they're off to the races. Fly, Eagles, fly. They're already leading far and away in the NFC East. And what do? They add a player. They get even better. They pick up Jay Ajayi from Miami for a bag of peanuts and some bubble gum. And they made the push. They said, hey, we're going for it. We're making a push. What did Jerry do? Nothing. Didn't make any additions during the trade deadline. Didn't make any additions during the offseason, aside from Cooper, another guard. But you didn't do anything else when it came to positional players, especially you knew that defense was going to be bad. But this is what I want to end this video and say. and this is what I've said to my friends in private, Jerry Jones doesn't give a damn about winning. He doesn't. So this notion that Jerry cares about winning and all this and all that, Jerry don't care about winning. You know why? Because Jerry wins whether we win or lose. Meaning, Jerry Jones doesn't lose. Jerry Jones is winning whether the Cowboys are good or bad. Cowboys are still going to continuously be in the most talked about, the most highly rated, and the most valuable, whether we win or lose. So to Jerry, and like he made that comment years ago, long as we put on a good show, all he cares about is the show. Putting the asses in the seats and making the money. That's all Jerry cares about. Because if Jerry cared about winning, he would have made those changes. He would have made those adjustments to make the team even better in the beginning of the season, or at least during the trade deadline. He didn't do anything. And that doesn't come from a person who wants to win. A person that wants to win does what Philly does. You make those changes. Even when you're ahead, you make more adjustments to further yourself down the season and get better. The Patriots did that. They got better. Yeah, they added Martellus Bennett, whatever is left of him. But you know what? They know Bennett is going to come through. They know Bennett is going to provide that one play that they may need, like he did last year, to help them get to the Super Bowl. What did Jerry do? Nothing. Because Jerry doesn't give a damn about winning. Jerry only cares about Jerry, self-promoting, and making dollars. That's all Jerry cares about. And he's no different than the rest of the league. Most of these owners care about the money. They did care less about. There's only a few teams in the league that cares about winning. And you see them every year. They win every year. The Giants and Giants look bad this year, but the Patriots and all these other teams, like especially the Patriots, they care about winning more than they care about the dollars. Yeah, of course, Bob Kraft care about money. They all care about money. But you know what? At least Bob Kraft allow the other, football people who know what they're doing to make football decisions, to make the team more successful and get the team closer to the ultimate goal of winning the championship. Jerry Jones doesn't do that because Jerry Jones cares about Jerry Jones. This is why the Dallas Cowboys 2017 season, is a wash. Because of Jerry effing Jones.